Yeah.
All right, what up, y'all? I'm back with another interview. I got today Killa Cam, my guy. My guy and I go way back to a freak accident in Fresno was the first time I met this guy, and all the guys were like super good to me after I went to the hospital, went to jail, got out of jail. Everybody was trying to help me out. Bulow, Cam, Bruce, all the WCC guys were helping me out, getting anything that I needed, offered me, can I get you food? Can I do all this? Can I do all that? So that's like some of my first memories of this guy. But I just want to do a little introduction, tell people, where you're from, Mr. Stunt News anchor man, how long you've been riding, the whole thing. And then kind of I want to go from, the riding and then jump into after that, jump into the Stunt News and what started that.
All right, for sure. Killa Cam. I've been riding probably about 11 years. Stunt riding for about 5, 6, maybe. From the Bay Area, San Jose, California. And what else do you want to know?
What started the stunt riding? It was probably the classic like highway wheelies, and somebody told you to talk to
Man.
me about that.
So for me, I was about 7, and my dad had an old Ninja and took me out on a motorcycle ride. My mom hated it. My mom and my grandma are all nurses, so they hate motorcycles. So my dad took me out on a ride, and ever since then, I had the bug. Like, it was it. I turned 17. I had a bunch of money in my pocket, and I went on Craigslist, found a CBR F2, drove 2 hours away. Never drove a motorcycle before in my life. Rode 2 hours away, and it was like 12 like midnight, and bought the bike, and then I slept in the car next to it with my homie, and then the next morning I drove it back 2 hours.
No way.
I was in sixth gear the whole time, bro, stalling at lights, everything. Like, it was horrible. I had a half shell helmet on, and I was going over the Golden Gate Bridge. There's rocks in my it's the worst experience ever. All right.
But you had that bug and you had to ride, bro.
Yeah, that was it. Then I got to San Jose. I bought a full face helmet. Then it was game over since then. I rode canyons for a couple years. Well, I went home. My mom was like, "Nah, you got to go. Like, that bike. You see the bike for you. Like, you got to go." So I did. I left the house.
Wow. So you
Yeah,
loved it that much that you were
yeah,
willing to move out.
yeah, 100%. And then I got a bigger bike. I got an R1 and started doing 100-mile-an-hour wheelies. And I remember one day, what another thing that slowed me down was my mom hit me up. She was like, "I just saw you doing a wheelie past me, doing at least 100 miles an hour." I had no idea, right? And I was in my motorcycle cut and everything. She knew it was me. And then she told my grandma. Then we had a whole little intervention for me with the motorcycles and stuff, which understandable. You know what I mean? Your
Yeah,
family
yeah.
cares about you, and they see you doing 100 miles an hour past their car on the freeway. You know what I mean? So I understood. And
Yeah,
so,
I think that's interesting because that happened to me too. But I feel like it's tough with anybody trying to live any type of different lifestyle that's not cookie cutter
right,
goes through those same type of interactions with their parents. Like, you don't understand. Like, this is what
right.
I love. This is what I want to do. And for us, it's no different. But I think that the negative connotation is because what we do, in that aspect, what you were doing is like 100 times more dangerous than what we're doing.
Right.
But that's where I feel like, we get that issue with family and stuff.
No, 100%. Because my family didn't come from a long list of riders. It was just me. I'm the crazy one. I even have a 16-year-old little sister. When she was 11, I bought a 50 and I put her on, and she was like, "Nah, I'm good." So, you know what I mean? Like, it's not for everybody, and that's perfectly fine. Like, it's nothing wrong with it. But, once they saw me, they came out. I did a toy drive like 2013, 14, and they came out, brought some toys, and they saw that I was in a parking lot doing controlled circles and tricks and stuff like that. Nobody in the crowd got killed, so they're like, "Oh, okay, all
Yeah.
right, we support it now. Like, it's all good, And like I said, I just quit my job like 8 months ago, and now I'm doing stunt news. So now they see that it was bigger than just a family.
Hmm.
It wasn't just that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so
So
talk to me about what started the stunt riding. Like, was it like an accident? Were you like laying bikes down in the canyons? Like, talk to me
yeah,
about that, the
that's
transition.
exactly it. That's exactly it. I lived basically a mile away from some of the dopest twisties in my city, And what I would do is I would sit like a squid out in my driveway and watch bikes go by. And when I would see a big enough group go by, I would just take off with them, right? And they wouldn't even know. They would have no idea. I'd just be trailing in the back, following them, right? And then one time I was riding, I don't know what I was thinking, but there was a nice right hook, and I just kept going straight into the dirt. Like I just kept, and I was like, oh. And then people behind me were like, yo, are you good? You good? When we stopped, I was like, yeah, man. I just froze up. Da, da, da. They're like, all right, be careful, right? So they're like, I was wearing like a windbreaker jacket, bro, some like boots, and that was it. And then so they're like, all right, we're gonna go down this hill. We're gonna go left, right, blah blah blah. So we go down the turn. I was going way too fast. Locked up the front and back brakes. It washed out. A car was coming up. The bike hit the back end of the car and almost hit me again. And then like it broke my ankle. So the car that hit me was actually going past my house, right? And I was fresh out of jail, no license, no insurance, nothing, bro. Like I was on probation, everything. So I was like, yo, I'll give you however much money you need. Just get me in your car and take me to the house. Like I'll pay for your car, whatever's wrong with it. They're like, bet. All right. So they put me in the car.
Only living
like,
in the Bay, yo.
Yeah, right. And they're like, yo, you good? You good? I was like, yeah. And then the adrenaline starts going away, and I'm just like, oh, my ankle, dude. Like, oh, it started sinking in. And then after that, I went the next day with my grandpa to try to find my bike, and it wasn't even in my name, so I wasn't even tripping on it, but I just wanted to go get it back. It wasn't there, it was gone. So I took like a year break away from that, and that was just to kind of play my level fields. Like, what do I want to do? Do I want to keep going with this? And then my club that I was in, they did another toy drive before I was even in the club, and I went and I saw Jason Pullen, Mike Vick, Brando, BK, and Knack-Knack. All the guys in the small spot doing burnouts, doing high chair, rev limiters going past me, stoppies. Like I'd never seen that before, especially in person. And it blew my mind. Yeah. And then I had an 05 R1 at the time, and I pulled my bike in and I popped my tire. That was like the first stunt I ever did at the show, right? And they were all there, and Bulow was there. He started laughing. He was like, oh, man, look at this squid, right? And so I popped my tire. They're like, yo, how you going to get home? I was like, oh, it's good. I got an extra rim and tire. And I sat there at the stunt spot, and I changed my tire right then and there, and I did it again. Right. And I was a cycle gear. I had another tire. And Bulow was like, yo, you got some balls, kid. Like, I like you. You know what I mean? But then never saw him again for like a year. And then went and got a 600R. And it was so bad that the handbrake was on top, put it like that. And I was running with the handbrake on top, clutch on bottom for a while, just super ass backwards.
We won't tell Steve and Guru about that.
Yeah, don't tell the St. Louis boys that one. But so I had that. Bulow set me up right, and he was like, no, man, you need to get an FRI. So then I went out and bought an FRI, and I never looked back. You know, I bought that. I stuck with it because I was always broke. Wasn't trying to spend money on parts and stuff like that, you know, and I could fix it myself. And luckily my roommate at the time went to MMI and Wyotech and all that kind of stuff. So he was easy. Oh yeah, do this. This is the valve, blah, blah, blah. So I learned a lot living with him, where I opened up my own shop in my garage.
Wow. Okay.
And that's when I started having all the stunt riders come to my house, and we would just hit streets all day. Pursuit, veggie, before veggie was even veggie, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, way back then. This was when it was, right, there's 30 of us at least every other day.
Wow.
You know, and that was, as long as we had $20 in our pocket, 10 for gas, 5 for smokes, and 5 for weed, like we were good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's a good day.
Yeah, so it seems like Bulow was kind of like a mentor to you. So talk to me about that a little bit. Like, you know, did he take you under his wing? Like, was he coaching you at the lot? Like, was he giving you tips? Like, I feel like dudes, I mean, there's no doubt about it, whether we're talking about stunt riding or anything else or business or whatever you're trying to do, you got a mentor. Like right. You're literally you can get, like I said, if for the right person you talk to and how long you hang out with them, you can get 1, 5, 10 years a game in this time. So talk to me a little bit about a Bulow and what kind of like mentor he was to you.
So with Bulow, if a lot of people think that I talk a lot of shit, but Bulow is 20 times worse. You know, Bulow was the big brother that
the worst.
You know, you were yeah, you know, and I don't know if it's Bay thing or what, but we all have thick skin, and if you take it to heart, you're not learning from it. You see what I'm saying? So if it's like, oh, he's just talking shit, like this fool hates me, like that's not the case. Yo, Cam, don't be a bitch. Go out and jump from stall, jump to C stander, then go to Frogger, then jump to 50-50. Like, what? Oh, okay,
Yeah,
watch like
what?
this. All right, I'll go do it, you know?
Yeah.
But Bulow was he would always coach me, and whatever I was doing, that I hit him up like, yo, bro, I just learned high chair circles. Like, yo, send me a video. Oh, those are recons. Those aren't circles.
It was never good enough.
All right.
It was never
Right, exactly. You
what
know?
I really like about that is that I try to tell people this too. That ask me about, I've been working out since I was 14. Ask me about fitness and ask me about diet, and some people that ask me about the bike. What I think we do a little bit better job of than what the older generation does is explaining. Like I tell people, bro, I'm not talking to you right now. I'm speaking to who you're gonna be. But people take it so personal, and he wasn't talking to you at that time. He was like, yo, I know you have more in you. Let me, that's it. I mean, those aren't good enough.
See, to me, that's what a hater is. A hater is someone believing more in you than you believe in yourself. And a lot of people don't think that. They just think, oh, that fool's just talking shit because I'm the shit, or he thinks he's better than me. No, it's not the case. Like, I know your potential. I see what you can do. I know that you can do this trick. I know you can do this, and then 2 weeks later down the road, you're doing it and looking at me like, oh, yeah, Cam kind of, he might know what he's talking about. You know what I mean? But I could care less if you double peg everything that you do in life, bro. You know what I mean? I just want everybody to do better because I know you can. Whether you want to or not, that's on you. You can't get me mad about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. I just want to motivate people. That's it. And that's what Bulow was doing to me, and still to this day, he still does, even though I don't ride as much, but now I get to do it to him because he's almost 100 years old, still doing coasters on a WR250. You know what I mean?
Yo, I want to tell a quick Bulow story real quick. And you were talking about him talking shit. So after Fresno, Bulow was like, he like checked in on me a little bit, but then when I started riding again, this fool was always talking shit to me, and I was young, bro, and I was in a spot where I feel like honestly I was using stunt riding as like an escape and something to get me attention, and so it was like too personal to me, and I couldn't take it, and I was like, bro, I can't take this shit. I can't take this motherfucker talking shit to me. It was always talking shit, and I finally I was like, I got deleted them.
You gotta say something, yeah.
Bro, I deleted them. I was like, bro, I can't handle this, whatever. I got rid of them off all my social media. And I saw him at Ride of the Legends. And when all the rides split up and we rode back to the hotel and rode back to Craze's shop, it was me, him, and Craze were at the front. We're just mobbing. I was like, now I'm about to show this fool that he seen me 5 years ago make the biggest squid move ever. And so I clutched up and I was just rev limiter everything. And he didn't say nothing. Every time I looked at him, wasn't even looking at me.
Yeah.
And then
looking at his bike.
He's looking at his bike. And then the next day at the lot, he comes up to me. He gets off his bike, walks across the lot and says, yo, you came a long way from Fresno and you were killing it last night. I was like, that's all I needed, bro.
That's it.
That was it. So no, that was super cool of him. And I was like, man, that was big for me. Cause like I said, I felt like, man, this dude, I try to tell people, I feel like this game is about longevity. Like, you hear the people come and go. It's like, different strokes for different folks, but I'm not into like all the cop bullshit and like, bro, you go dead and gone or locked up and gone. No one gives a shit. Like you're going to be, you're going to disappear. Yeah. So the people that I respect are the people like the Steves and the Gurus and, all the Street Fighters and the Dub CC guys. It's like there's so much that could go wrong in this game and you're still around.
Right.
Know? So I started thinking about longevity, and I was like, man, I got to figure out how I can stay in this game so I can, earn that type of respect. But talk to me, like, what do you feel like people can do? Because I know, you are a great rider yourself, and I know you probably get a lot of messages because you have a way bigger fan base than I do, following circle than I do, and I get a ton. So how do you feel like new riders or people that aren't like there yet, how do you feel like you can earn that respect that we're talking about from like the OGs and people like Bulow and like all the Dub CC guys? How do I get invited to places? How do I, people tell me like where the meetup spots at? Like what was crazy is I haven't been out of town since Beat the Heat 2015. And I post that I'm in Cali, and all of a sudden it's like, yo, here's the meetup. Do you want to park at my house? We're gonna go grab food. Come here, come there. And I'm like, whoa, I'm not even used to this. But like, how do you think people could earn that, or how do you think, if you're gonna give somebody some advice?
Honestly, if you want to travel, if you really want to be a part of the bike life, it's bigger than just your city. There's millions of other riders out there, whether it be wheelies, burnout, stoppies, hitting canyons, track riders, whatever the case. There's millions of riders all over the place. And in the stunt community, we're big but small. There's not a person that can do a wheelie anywhere in the US that I couldn't find right now if they stole my money. You know what I mean? Like, that's how tight knit we are, because we do our best to kick those kind of POSs out. You know what I mean? And so if you want to come into the bike scene, you want to get invited to places, show the ambition. That's it. Find a local ride that's going on, post up on Instagram, Facebook, like, yo, I just moved here. I'm new to this area. Can you guys tag below who's riding, yada, yada, yada. Because I get tagged in that a lot. Like, yo, my boy's in Vegas. Is there any way you can find a ride, or he's trying to hit the lot, and then I'll DM you personally. If a couple of people know you, that I know you, that you're respectable, cool. And if you're not at that level yet, I mean, it's like I said, it's not a problem. There's plenty of forums. You can follow like Straight Up Familia. They do a lot of rides out there with Veggie. Dubsy guys up in Seattle when it's not raining and pouring, you know what I mean? And I mean, even in Vegas, there's rides every other Friday, but it's just posting up. You have social media, and it's a network, we have to use it. That's the only way that we can all stay in contact. And that's one reason I have a ride calendar on my website. So that way, if somebody's hosting a ride in Florida, they can go to my website, send me the flyer, all the info they want people to know, and I can put it on the flyer or on my website, and then anybody, it's only information that you want to put up. I'm not going to put up anything else, but it's an opportunity for people that don't get to go on Friday night rides with the boys. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this is my opportunity, that don't follow the people in your area, the big names and stuff like that. It just needs to be a hub. And I think that Stunt News is a good hub to be able to get new riders like that, because I get hit up a lot, like, yo, I want to come out, I want to do this and that. Like, that's cool. There's a public ride that's going on Friday, meet up at this gas station, we can get a feel for you. And then if you have a fully clean shaved face with the fucking, the military cut, we're going to start asking some questions, you know what I mean? But, there's not really too many stunners, at least for me on the West Coast, that you can't go up to and say something to, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter, all up along the West Coast, even before I was a squid. When I was a squid, I was pulling up, and Jason Pullen would come up, yeah, okay, yeah, what's up, man? What's up, daddy? How you doing? Because we all know the sacrifice. We all know that as soon as we kick the leg over our bike, it could be our last day. You know what I mean? So why hold a grudge, or why think that you're better than some new guy coming up that looks up to you? You never know. You could be his ambition, but looks up to you. Why would you want to turn that down? You know what I'm saying? That could be the next generation coming up. I have 2 16-year-old kids out here that ride streets with us. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the next generation. These kids are already learning circles. You know what I mean? So it's just reaching out, bro. It's just reaching out, being a solid person, and being dedicated. If it's a weekend thing for you, that's perfectly fine too. Because a lot of these guys, they have worked all week. They're working 5 days a week, and then some only get to ride on Sunday. So there's always somebody to ride in your area. You just have to reach out and use your network. And don't come across as asshole.
Yeah, I feel like what you said, like the dedication shows. I feel like it's like there's always that connotation of like birds of a feather flock together, right? So the dudes that are putting in this time, this energy, this money, they've broken bones, they've broken bikes, they've, been riding for so many years. Maybe they got locked up, maybe they paid lawyer fees, like right. that type of energy flocks together. So like, if you want that, like those invites and those things, like I feel, put in the work, like people want killers on their rides. Like so-and-so hit me, like, and I think what I think is so cool about the stunt community is, there is a lot of negative stuff, but at the same time, there's so much positive. Like, bro, like 2 years ago, I went to my last court date in Fresno. On a whim, I call Wes. I'm like, yo, I'm in Fresno. It's 2 hours from San Jose. What's good? He said, drive down here. We'll put a ride together. You'll ride my bike. I'll ride my spare. I literally jumped in the rental car, drove 2 hours with my pops, bro. Yeah. My pops kicked it with Wes's mom the whole time we were riding streets. Just after I got out of court, and my dad's like, "Bro, are you seriously like right now?" I'm
out of
like,
court for riding streets.
for riding streets, and I'm like, "Yeah," I'm like, "Yes," but the culture is just like it. And bro, he got together, you know, a group of 25, 30 people in like in a 2-hour notice, like, and the hospitality. And bro, he didn't even want to ride his bike. He's like, "No, I'm riding my Spare, this like janky ass bike that wasn't set up or nothing."
Of course.
Completely stock bike. And he puts me on his bike. I'm like, it's so cool to build, like you said, the network like that. And I think what's cool about Stunt News, like you said, it's a hub. I feel like you've taken your attitude and your ambition for the hub, and you created something, which is what I'm trying to do here. Is I'm trying to go deeper with getting to know individuals. So like people hearing you say what you just said, like, no, he can't answer every single DM on both pages, but if you see him at the lot, they might be like, "Damn, I really can talk to Killa Cam," and he's not gonna like talk shit to me or think I'm a squid or whatever. And that's what I'm trying to open up, like other riders, getting to know other riders, new riders, getting in, you know, the mentality of these riders that have progressed a lot. So jump into Stunt News with me. I really, like I said, I really like what you talked about, that it's like a hub. You know, you're sharing, you know, all this stuff of, you know, people's progression, you know, all the things that, you know, the rides, like all the things that are very important. I was digging the YouTube videos, like the lot etiquette and like all those things, because I feel like that also can earn your respect. Learning those things, like, you don't want to learn the hard way, bro. You do not, because you get one chance. Like, we have a very small street scene here in Portland, and a kid, and we never have issues. Cops never bother us. We have never got lit up, not one time. The last whole year that we've been riding, and we had somebody punch a mirror, and it was a new rider. And I'm like, yo, that's it, bro. Like, you have to know that kind of stuff. Like, you know? And so I think that Stunt News to me gives such a value to people that they can learn without making the mistakes. Like, you know, just like, it's like a big, you know, like Big Brother type deal, you know?
Right. And that's what I wanted it to be. You know what I mean? I wanted it to be a place where it doesn't matter if you're an expert or a brand new guy that's thinking about buying a motorcycle. You know, I want this page to be able to bring us all together, because say you go buy a motorcycle, or I post up a guy doing a sick trick on a trials bike, and you're like, "Yeah, I'm not going to stunt ride anymore. I feel like trials riding, you know, or I want to go ride dirt now." You know, it's bigger than just motorcycles. You know, Stunt News. I want Stunt News. If you're doing a wheelie on your little sister's plastic Jeep down the driveway, or getting sideways in it, like, everything we do is a stunt. Anything that gets your heart racing, we all have that adrenaline bug in us, you know. And I want to expand Stunt News into, obviously, cars and, you know, skydiving and everything else along the way. But for now, I want my focus is my passion, you know, obviously, because that's what will drive me the most. But I just always thought that there should be a hub for all of us. There needs to be a place that you can get any information you need. Like, I get hit up about, "Yo, Cam, I got ripped off on a raffle, you know, like, oh, yo, let me reach out. Yo, boom, solid fix." You know what I'm saying? Without bashing anybody's name, without, you know, going on social media, talking shit, whatever the case. And same thing, I don't want all the new guys coming in to get burned. You know what I mean? And if just because there's one bad asshole out there, you know, it doesn't make us the rest the same like that. You know what I'm saying? And just like you were saying, you want to expand people's mind, just like why I do Behind the Helmet, because we all know what Top Notch looks like, you know, with wearing a helmet on his bike. But do you know what Top Notch does for a living? You know what I'm saying? You know that guy's been in more movies than you could possibly think of. You know, did you know his whole family has been in the movie career for his whole life? The fun fact, you know, Top Notch was in The Grinch.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you know, when the Grinch was a baby in the movie, that was Wyatt.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my. Yo, I'm dead, bro. Are you serious?
Bro, yeah, shoot him a DM later and he'll send you the picture. Yeah, it's hilarious.
Oh my god,
bro, he's full makeup, all green, looking back, wearing the little onesie for the same, like, for the episode. Or the,
bro, that's so. I'm doing an interview with him on Sunday, dude.
Oh, no, yeah. Dude, so that'll be a fun fact for you. Write that down. That way you can bring it up and make it super awkward. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like there's so much more to us than just being on a motorcycle, man. We're family men, you know, we all have our own passions, big on and off the bike. We have families, we have kids, we have dogs, we have moms, dads, whatever the case, you know. And a lot of people don't get to see the other side of it. You know, and that's why a lot of people never get to meet Jason Britton or see his dope RV or his, you know, Sprinter van. But I was able to get opportunity to be able to show that to everybody, you know, and hopefully motivate somebody to be like, yo, I want that, because it motivated me. You know, I went out, I got my Sprinter wrap this weekend, you know, so it definitely sets goals for other people. And I want Stunt News, if there's anything anybody ever sees that they think I should incorporate with it, my doors are always open. There, I do not turn down anything. I'm a sponge. We're a sponge over here. We soak up everything. You know, we're not dedicated to just one thing. We made this for everybody.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, the message is like kind of aligned and really similar, because it's just, for me, I'm just so intrigued with like mindset. Like, you know, what does it take to get you to where you are? Like I said, as a rider, as an individual, as a person, the shit that you've been through. Because honestly, bro, I really think what makes people mess with us on a deeper level, because at the end of the day, wheelies are just wheelies, bro.
Right.
But you know, I mean, everybody can cut and slice it whatever way. Like nobody else is doing anything that crazy that we can't all be grouped together. But I think what makes people really mess with us is getting to know us. Like those people are like, bro, I really want to buy, you know, a Stunt new shirt because, you know, Killa Cam, like I love the, you know, he's so humble. He's so this, like, you know, I really want to mess with High Side Joe, and I want to get a High Side Life t-shirt because he told his story, you know. I really want to mess with, you know, Brian 636 because, you know, like, you know, as riders, like we feel misguided. I don't know if that's what his brand is about, but like the story behind everything and why you chose the path that you chose and who you are as a person, I think makes people really, really, really want to mess with you, bro. And at the end of the day, there's a difference from someone watching you do a trick and watching you do a wheelie and purchasing a t-shirt, or you being right in front of them and you're in a bind and they got you because they know who you are. I mean, how many people, you know, because like we talked about a little bit off camera, you really get to know these guys and, you know, your teammates when you're traveling and when you're sitting in the car with them for hours and hours and hours and you're getting to know them as people. Those are those dudes when you like, when we are doing the thing that we do and, you know, you look back and the homie might be in a bind, that's what keeps you from grabbing the gear and going forward, or you turn around. And 100%. I think, you know what I mean? And I think that's where I'm trying to build the more like inspirational relationship with these type of conversations.
No, definitely. I 100% agree, because like I said, there's plenty of people that come in and out of this game, and when you get to meet someone and know someone on a personal level off of their bike, and they invite you to their house, you know, and yo, bro, my wife made food. Are you hungry? Yo, if you need to take a shower, you know, here you go. Like, I've been so many places where I felt at home, you know, and I would do the same if you came out here. You know, you need a spot to crash in Vegas, bro. I got a couch for you. Don't even worry about it. You know what I'm saying? And it's bigger than just it's bigger than just an ego. You know, it's bigger than a bike. It's bigger than sponsors. It's bigger than likes. It's bigger than tags. You know, it's bigger than photo cred. It's a family. You know what I'm saying? And as long as the whole family works together and we're not out backstabbing each other, or we get rid of those guys and we all stay tight-knit community, I mean, we can be in the X Games, bro. We can be in the Olympics, bro. They just added skateboarding and breakdancing to the Olympics.
Sheesh,
You know what I'm saying? Like that's a milestone, because think about it. All the kids that are younger than us and our age, we don't want to watch skee ball, bro. We don't want to watch jousting. We don't want to watch none of that shit. We want to see some dope stuff. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't even be surprised in the next 10 years if we get motocross in the Olympics too, because look how many people overseas are doing it. And bro, if they put stunt riding in the Olympics, I'll put first down. We're gonna lose. Hands down, bro.
100%. Yeah.
Hands down. You know.
What do you think? That's a good segue. Like, what do you think is the difference between European stunt riders and American stunt riders? Because I mean, let's be honest, bro. I only, as far as like a 100% all around, well-rounded rider, combos, shuffles, like all these things. We maybe have 2 or 3 guys in the whole US that can really go over there and compete, because there's things that are just like, you go over there and I'll watch Stunner
13.
RX or whatever, that YouTube channel that it's like, and they post all the competition.
The competitions, bro.
So like the guys that are getting last are like the stuff that we are like, wow, how do these dudes do that? And those are the dudes that are placing in last. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
Switchback stoppie, switchback rev limiter, no hand. You're like, what?
Yeah, and like, dude, like, you know, I saw Mike Jensen. I love the bouncy style. Like, it's always been my style, and trying to do that kind of stuff on the street. And he did high chair clutch bounce to frog, and I was like, I messaged him. I was like, I'm gonna do that in second gear on the street, and he replied and said, "Good luck." But like, what do you think is the difference? Like, what do you think separates these guys? And that's what always intrigues me. And that's, like I said, started these conversations because there's a separation between riders. What do you think is the difference?
The ability to have places to ride.
Gotcha.
That's it. Think about, let's see, Nigel, the skateboarder, right?
Mm-hmm.
That kid kills streets. That kid is freaking untouchable. Like, he lands everything, you know what I'm saying? But he can go to a skate park and ride. He can go to an indoor skate park and ride. He can get his permit, you know what I'm saying? Just like with the skateboards, man. We used to be able to go hit streets, get tickets, everything like that. Then they build a skate park and you don't get that many tickets no more.
Gotcha.
You feel? So I think that if there was a dedicated stunt park, it was in the middle of the U.S. You know damn well it doesn't matter. If they had one event every 6 months, everybody would go there.
Yep.
If there was a legit spot that is plausible. And it's funny that we're talking about that because I'm actually working on that in Southern California with a couple of friends of mine.
Wow.
Getting a legit spot to be able to have vendors, competition, you know, weekly competitions, monthly competitions, stuff like that. And also be able to have new people come in and ride, teach kids, get some little trials bikes for kids to be able to come out, learn a course, because it's bigger than us, bro. We got to do something for the next generation. You know, we're good. You know what I'm saying? Like, not too many of us are going to go out and learn something new this weekend. You know what I'm saying? At age 35. But getting the kids excited about riding, you know what I'm saying? Because those are the kids that are going to be able to have a stunt park. Those are the kids that are going to be in the mayor's office like, yeah, my dad, talked about it. We got to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? But I think that the biggest difference between us and overseas is the ability to have places to ride and not get kicked out. You know?
Yeah, I really like your vision with the future of stunt riding. I felt like kind of the same. That was like something I had thought about too, was like, you know, generating some kind of nonprofit that was like for kids, that is like, you know, we can get these kids into, like, you know, I grew up in a house where we didn't turn wrenches. So I'm like, you know, everything that I've done on my bike, I'm YouTubing. I got to pay somebody to do it, and then I got to sit there and watch them, and then I have to go back and pay them again because I don't remember how to do it. Like, and you know, like I didn't know how to change a tire. Like, I didn't know how to, you know, I didn't know how to do anything. So I think, you know, getting these kids set up that it was like, they don't have to make all these mistakes. They don't have to, you know, set their valves off and blow their bike up. They don't have to, you know what I mean? They don't have to, you know, not tighten one of their motor mounts and have their motor fall out. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at
any of our friends that have children, right? And you watch any video you go to see and of them in the garage, and that kid's going to have a wrench in his hand. Yep. Because he's ready to help dad, you know? So the ambition is there. They already know, you know what I'm saying? And to have a safe place for kids to do that, bro, like there's a woman that I work with in New Jersey. Her name's Hurricane Power Sports is her thing. And she did exactly what I'm talking about. She got a spot. She set some cones out and has like 5 or 6 kids just go around the cones, you know, just getting comfortable on the bike. Got them all helmets, got them all jackets, shoes, everything like that they can rent. You know what I mean? But obviously it's free. But that's what needs to happen. If we can get kids in a safe environment to be able to ride with us at the same time, like back and forth, just like you play hockey? No. Oh. Well, like hockey rinks, right? Like you have the time where it's advanced group.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Switch up because you're going to motivate the kids. Kids come out, watch you work on your bike after you just blew your tire. Like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like that inspires stuff. And that right there is, if you do a video of that, think of how many other people like, yo, I want to be a part of that. How can I help this? You know what I mean? Like that's bigger than us. That's building the next generation, like we said, you know?
Yeah, and I think what's really cool about stunt riding is like our legends, like the kids that love like, mainstream sports, they're never going to meet their idols.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's what I think is so cool about us is like when I got my first bike was a 1000, I was like street like wheelies, right?
Yeah.
Well, street fighters pop up and I'm watching Sit Down Steve and Guru wheelie down the highway. And then, I'm like, you know what? Like this is what I want to do. I know I want to do this is what I want. I'm going to, continue to, no matter what, I'm going to get this. And
Yeah.
then, 3 years later, I'm at Beat the Heat with, Sit Down Steve, with Street Fighter Adam.
Yeah.
And I'm in a Street Fighter edit. And I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, this is everything that I worked for, because these are the guys that inspired me to do what I'm doing. And that's what I think is so cool is like and then, like we talked about before, giving that dedication and earning that respect to people you look up to.
Yeah.
Is something that I think is unmatched about this sport, because I'll go to the gym and I'll hoop, and we're at, LA Fitness in Vancouver, Washington. You can't go to play basketball at LA Fitness without somebody talking shit to you. Like they're somebody. But
yeah, of course.
But you can be in stunt riding and you can be and wheelie next to the guys that you looked up to when you started, and they're rocking with you, which I think is so dope.
Yeah, and come up and make you shotgun a beer at dinner time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, that's one thing. It's definitely dope because being in the game for so long, I've met so many people, and like you said, watching them on YouTube videos and MySpace videos and stuff like that. Like that's how old I am. But watching that kind of stuff, and then going to Arizona, drinking with these guys, going to their rides and them knowing my name, being in an edit, and those are all goals that I set for myself when I began the stunt career, and marking that off was definitely a huge milestone for me as well. Yeah, I agree with you on that.
I find that, if you're okay with it, I know that you're like, to me anyways, from like a business aspect, I'm trying to get a little better at like the whole business of, stunt riding and how I can market myself and, what my niche is. And you said something that I love before we got on camera was I always told people the reason that I feel like, I don't feel like I haven't even started really my potential, but like what was cool about me being able to be supported by a couple dope companies was that I stopped going, I have to be better. I have to be better. I have to be better. And you said it before, it's not what, what makes us better, but what makes us different. What makes you stand out? Because like I said, at a certain level, anybody can cut it and slice it how it needs to be cut and sliced.
Yeah.
But what makes you more marketable? So, talk to me a little bit about sponsors and about, I know you have sponsors like for your riding. Also too, give people like a little nugget or something like what helps get sponsors. I know a lot of people, how do I get the attention of these people? How do I, do this? How do I catch my first sponsor? How do I know what's a good deal? How do I know what's a bad deal? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So for me, I got my first sponsor was a buddy of mine, just throwing me clothes, which is all, no matter what, like that's your homie. You're going to support the homie, And then he's the one that put in my head, like, yo, bro, why don't you make your bike pop? Because my bike was all black because obviously I was riding streets all the time and doing my thing. So he was like, I'll help you. So we took my bike apart, powder coated it white, and then did a blue wrap on top of it. And then as soon as I did that,
I love that bike.
Bro, me too. I'm working on a 10-year resurrection. But but as soon as I did that bike, I don't know what it was. It just turned a light on. Like everybody's like, yo, bro, that bike's sick, bro. Hey, man, you mind putting a sticker on your thing? Like, yeah, bro. Like, and me being the young, hungry, ambitious rider that I was, gimme. Oh, it's free? Oh, Coke and Pepsi? Oh, yeah, I'll wear both of you guys stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then it gets to the point where it's like, you kind of look like a joke taking every single thing that comes at you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And put it like this. I've built a reputation because of how people have seen my riding and the way I represent their company. My bikes and pictures and videos are always clean. They're always either edited or, a cool little rough video. I do my best to promote in every single post that I post. I'm not sponsored by RSC. I was sponsored by another company, clutch company, and I was still tagging RSC. You know what I mean? But I loved RSC. That was my thing. You know, I still tagged the other company, but even after the other company shut down, I was still tagging RSC. And then Josh told me, he was like, yo, man, he goes, you've been tagging me for like the last 3 years. He goes, here's a lever. You know, and to me, that
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? My mind was blown. I was like, no way. Like that's just rare for me. You know, that's a big thing. And then same thing. I was sponsored by a cage company, and they sent me a cage, and then I needed some pucks. Never heard from them again. You know, all I needed was pucks. $15. I would have paid for them. It is what it is. So there's companies that will take care of their riders, and there's companies that will take care of themselves. You know what I'm saying? The companies that take care of their riders are something like KevTech. I've been with KevTech probably about 4 years now. I love the company. Customer service is best ever because it's only 2 people. You know what I'm saying? Kev welds everything, and his wife Rachel does everything. So it's a family. I can call Kev, yo, Kev, I just bought a supermoto. All right, Cam, what do you need? All right, boom, boom, I need this. Because he knows that my 80,000 followers are going to see his product on my thing and going to wonder, like, yo, I should have bought that.
Yep.
You know? Now, and another thing, it's also a return of investment. They invested, so my 636 cage, powder coat, everything like that was roughly around $1,200 for a full package. You know what I'm saying? So he invested $1,200 into me. Now
I got to give it back.
I got to give it back.
Yep.
You know, whether that be some person buying a cage, person buying a sub cage here, hand bracket there, whatever the case may be. It's my job now to bring him his money back. Now, other companies think, all right, I gave you this shirt. 3 days later, yo, you posted a picture with my shirt. You didn't tag me. What's up?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And there's nothing wrong with clothes sponsors. There's nothing wrong with it. They're going to pay you even better. That's hands down for you. But I wouldn't consider a clothing sponsored unless they're sending you a check. I wouldn't call them a sponsor. I would call it support. Yep. You know, because you guys are supporting each other. He's getting his product out there. You're getting some clout from their page. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But neither one of you are getting a check.
Yeah, I think that's interesting what you said about clothing, and I feel like that's really cool because, you know, you're talking about, you know, him sending you a cage. You're literally protecting your motorcycle, but at the end of the day, yeah, exactly. At the end of the day, you're gonna wear a T-shirt regardless of what logo's on it. So it's like I really don't need this T-shirt, you know?
Right. I have no problem wearing a Costco brand all black shirt. Yep. Mm-hmm. You know, or going to Walmart. Yeah, go to Walmart, get some Wrangler jeans and some Nike New Balance. You know, Child Creeper 4.0s. You know,
well, you're gonna rip them anyway. So
right, exactly. You know, so it's nothing for me. But if I would, like I said, sponsor is something that's dedicated to you. Like I get a check from one of my sponsors per year. You know, another sponsor. I get any of my merch that I need for my personal self. I get, obviously, you know, and the list goes on. As far as reaching out and getting sponsors, think like this. Would you sponsor yourself and why? That's it.
That. Yeah.
You know,
yes. So
why would I sponsor you?
Yeah. So what I'm hearing is you feel like what makes you different is amount of followers, which is huge, right? The quality that you're putting out and the amount that you're putting out and the way that you're able to market and brand.
Right. Okay, that's it. You got to stand out, because if you don't stand out, you're just another leaf on the tree.
Yeah, exactly. I like that. Yeah, I feel like you know, for anybody that's wondering, like for all the reasons that you think that people won't mess with you, find a reason that they will. Like I was like, okay, what's gonna make me different? I worked at Icon for a couple of years, and I saw the amount of money that these people were putting in, like Icon specifically was putting into these video shoots, right? No, I don't have a red camera. No, I don't, you know, I don't have a camera rig, but I have a homie that I work very closely with, and he produces professional level videos. Well, what I did is I said, listen, anytime you need me to help you shoot a wedding, I will get you. But if you help me with this, so a part of my package is professional level video production. So instead of them, like I said, corporate, they spend dough. Yeah. So if I can give you an Instagram video that you're going to pay 10,000 or plus more for, and you have to give me way less per year,
exactly,
I'm adding value to you.
Yeah.
Plus, I take all my own photos and I edit all my own videos.
Exactly.
So you have somebody that I feel like I can represent the products in a good, attractive way, and I can produce high quality content at the same time. That is what I sell in my package as, I want to add as much value as I'm taking, if not more. And I feel like, like you said, say, you give a $1,200 cage, right? And, those are the products that we use on my home, $25 for a wedding. So in one video, you're getting double your money.
Exactly.
So that's what I think is really cool about, exactly finding out what separates you from people. So that's really cool. And as far as reaching out, like, do you have like a resume, or you just like, are you currently seeking any new sponsors? Like I said, I feel like this is kind of information that I feel like you and I get mutual questions about. So I just kind of want to knock it out so people can hear.
Yeah. So for me, every sponsor that I have, I've shaken their hand. There's not a sponsor that I've just DM'd, haven't talked to, anything like that. Like, I think that the best way to actually have a professional relationship with somebody, and also a better family, more relationship, is connection, face to face. You know what I'm saying? To actually get the real vibe off the people. You know what I mean? And that's what definitely shows you. People see the desire in that.
Yep.
I went all the way to Colorado because that's where KevTech is, and I filmed out there. I stayed a whole weekend out there and filmed everything, how to install his cage, the stealth stay, everything like that.
Awesome.
He paid for my flight, and he was like, yo, man,
you're adding value.
Blah, blah, blah.
You're adding value.
So, right, exactly. And I saved him from answering questions like, yo, how do I install my cage? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, here, watch Killa Cam do it.
Exactly. And what I think is cool about that too is that at the end of the day, bro, like, when you reach out to somebody for a sponsor and you ask them for something, nobody wants to give anybody anything. Like, they're not just gonna be like, oh yeah, sure, you reach out to us, here you go. And then I feel like what happens is people are like, oh, I don't want to mess with them anymore because they don't want to sponsor me. It's like, you have to, like you said, you got to look in the mirror and you got to go, would you sponsor you and why?
Right. Exactly. So for me, I'm looking for sponsors right now to put on the van.
Yep.
Right. So I got my van wrapped. I have about 4 logos at the bottom. I have a spot for about 4 more. Right now, my van next year, I plan on being a lot of places all over the U.S. You know what I mean? And that's driving to events with this. So your logo is going to be everywhere. That's advertisement on pictures. My van stands out as neon yellow. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be in pictures. You're going to see it. The advertisement's going to be there, and it's not just going to be in the same city every single state, every single time. So that's where reaching out to companies and telling them like, yo, you guys should shoot me like $500 and sponsor me for the year. That'd be hella cool. You know what I mean? Like, you got to go deeper than that. Like, oh, okay, let me just shoot this motherfucker $500.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, here you go, man. Yeah, here you go, buddy.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, let me get a hashtag on your little fucking whole portfolio of hashtags that you have going on right here. So Bike Life R6, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you have to come correct. Like, yo, I'm looking at a $500 sponsorship or a placement on my vehicle. I plan on hitting 36 out of the 50 states this year.
Yep.
I have this many events going on. If you have product, I have no problem picking product up or buying it, whatever the case may be. If you could get a discount rate.
Yep.
If you want to ship me merchandise, I have no problem handing out merchandise in my canopy, little stickers, whatever the case. They're gonna. Why would you not?
Exactly.
Why would you not?
If you're gonna give more value than you're taking.
Exactly. And if it doesn't matter if you say you sell pop sockets, cool, bro. Give me 10 pop sockets. I'll put your sticker on the van everywhere, and everywhere I go, or every order that I ship out, I'll put a pop socket in there so people can post about it.
So
for sure.
Yeah. So I think people don't think about the long game. So people think like, well, if they're going to give me $500 and I'm going to do all this stuff, I'm getting played. But what you don't understand is that some companies will take advantage 100%. But people, like you said, the people that you're shaking hands with and you're talking to and have these relationships with, they're going to go, you know what, if Cam's willing to do this right now, not because he wants the money, because he believes in the brand and believes in the product, when this company catches a break or when they blow up or whatever their situation is, they're going to bless you. And that's just that's just the energy that you're going to get back from what you put in.
And like you said, $500. Oh, that's short term. You know, that's not that much money. All right, cool. Let's talk about this. So $500 initially, and then I get 10% of every product that's used with my coupon code for your website.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So if I'm bringing you consistent revenue, exactly. So it's I don't want 100,000 now. I want 100,000 every day for the rest of my life.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? So that's what a lot of guys, they don't think about that. They don't think long term. Because think about it. You go out, I'm out driving around, you know, I get injured. I can't ride anymore. What am I going to do for my sponsor?
What? Yeah, now what?
Yeah. What am I going to do? Now I'm can't post up any pictures. It's all going to be throwbacks. But now I can promote your product completely all over my website to try to make some income, try to help me with these bills.
Yep. 100%.
Yep.
So I want to round it out, bro, just to be respectful for time. I just have one last question for you. How do you want to be remembered in this game?
Yeah, that's a good one. How do I want to be remembered in this game? I want to be remembered as that guy that actually did something for the bike community and not just himself.
I like it. Solid, bro.
You know, I feel we raise a lot of money for riders that have gone down, people that have, you know, been stuck in situations, stuff like that. I feel like I just want to do more, and I want people to understand that I'm doing it not because of I'm trying to make $1 million or anything like that. I do it because I love it, you know, and I want everybody, I want this bike life to come together closer for a reason and not just keep spreading apart. Because when Rocco passed away, that kind of definitely it divided us, bro. It definitely did, you know. And I just want this to kind of be the hub to kind of bring everybody back and get our passion back, you know, and the same ambition that we had in 2014. You know,
I feel it. All right, y'all. You heard it from Killa Cam. Subscribe to your boy. Subscribe to Stunt News. Follow Stunt News on Instagram. Do you have a Facebook page, Cam, for Stunt News? Okay, so Stunt News on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. I'll link them in the description in this video, and we will catch you guys in the next one.
I appreciate y'all. Stay blessed, and video or didn't happen.